Alright, so the international break is almost over. Woohoo! And a lot of Manchester United Reds have been in action all across the world. Some standout performers, some not so standout performers. And we'll start with England. England have had a couple of players play for the England national team. Two centre halves. Obviously, Chris Smalling playing the first game against Estonia, and Phil Jones playing in the second game against Lithuania. Great to see Phil Jones back playing again after his blood clots. He hasn't played a lot of football. It's his first start, and his first start centre half for England in a very, very long time. I think he's played, I think they said, that the last 5 games at right back for England, and that could be where he's going to have to play for Manchester United with their injury crisis. But it didn't have a lot to do in that game because obviously Lithuania were horseshit. But Chris Smalling done a decent job in the first game against Estonia, but not really much to shout about there. Obviously Wayne Rooney and Michael Carrick were precautionary, not included. I don't think they're too badly injured, and probably will be available for the game against Everton, which is great because we need our squad depth. So that's great to see that either that Roy Hodgson hasn't played them players, knowing that their clubs will need them over the coming weeks. Bastian Schweinsteiger was also out with a knock. I mean, it's a bit disappointing that these players are picking up knocks, but I presume that he will be available for the game against Everton. If not, it will be Michael Carrick and Schneiderlin in the team. But they didn't play him, so it's great to see that they haven't played him, because some players have played with knocks, and a lot of the clubs aren't happy about that. But he didn't play. Obviously, Germany have qualified, but it was good to see that he didn't play. One player who did play for his country was Paddy McNair. He hasn't been playing a lot for Manchester United. Apparently he did pick up an injury, which is worrying, because with the League Cup coming back around the corner in a couple of weeks, we're going to need a fully fit squad to challenge on three fronts at the moment, because the FA Cup obviously doesn't start till the new year. So 3 fronts at the moment: the League Cup and the Champions League to fight on, and we're going to need our squad. So it will be a bit disappointing there, because we've still got some really bad injury at the back, and with the lack of real quality, strength and depth, which was a concern that we didn't sign enough cover at the back, could really cost us there. Ander Herrera and Marcus Rojo didn't represent their countries. They're both apparently now fit. Whether they're match and game fit, God knows. We will have to wait and see what Louis van Gaal does there. I mean, I personally don't think they're going to be available for the next game, but hopefully in the foreseeable future they will be. It's great that Rojo hasn't played for Argentina, and Herrera doesn't actually get in the Spain squad. But Juan Mata played the first game against Luxembourg, coming on in the first few minutes for David Silva, who got injured. Luckily Juan Mata didn't get injured. It's not nice to see David Silva get injured either. It's horrible to see these players anyone get injured on an international duty. I don't care what club they play for. No one likes to see players get injured. But luckily Juan Mata, he stayed injury free, played pretty much the whole game there. David Hare, obviously an unused substitute there. He played the second game against Ukraine and had an absolute blinder of a game, making about 10 saves. I've watched the highlights and fucking hell, Jesus Christ, he was like bloody Superman in that, saving every shot. Even when it was 0-0, they've nicked it 1-0. Spain could quite easily have lost it 3 or 4-1. I mean, if someone else had been in goal, they would have lost that game. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic and really has got to be the #1 this summer going into these Euros. Surely now. Iker Casillas has been a fantastic goalkeeper, and the Spanish national manager has obviously gone for the experience and the tried and trusted there over the course of most of this campaign. But he's really got to be the #1 for this summer. If he's not, I'll be very, very surprised. And going into some friendlies, surely he will get some more game time. Hopefully he can continue this form for the rest of the season. Was just a bit worrying that he did say, when they asked about a buyout clause in his contract, did come out and say you'd have to speak to my agent about things like that. So hopefully that isn't anything to go by, and he will stay for the future, because we need Dave for the next few years, because he is an absolute world-class goalkeeper. Could possibly go on to be our greatest ever goalkeeper if he stays at Manchester United for all his career. In other news, obviously Marouane Fellaini played for Belgium. Not really too much to talk about there. There was a few other players that played. Memphis Depay played for Holland. Unfortunately, they failed to qualify. But, you know, he hasn't had the best of time lately, Memphis Depay. Obviously, Van Persie getting a lot of stick for scoring a header in his own net tonight, which is obviously not nice to hear about. It's a shame for obviously Holland's sake that they haven't qualified. But they'll come back from this. They haven't got a very good team. I think Louis van Gaal saw the writing on the wall here. An aging team, the likes of Robin, coming to the end of their time. So Van Persie obviously coming to the end of his time as well. A lot of other players coming to the end of their time as well. Wesley Sneijder, another one. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is not young anymore. So they've had a horrid qualifying campaign. Changed managers as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Danny Blind didn't get the sack from this, because he's actually done horrific. I know it's only been a few games, so you can't completely blame him, but I have to see. Hopefully Memphis Depay can come back stronger for Manchester United, put this behind him. And another big honourable mention to Anthony Martial. He played alongside Schneiderlin for France, was man of the match in their second game, started his first international, setting up Olivier Giroud in the first few minutes of the game. Olivier Giroud scoring 2 goals. Actually, it was absolute horseshit goalkeeping from Kasper Schmeichel for both goals. I mean, I think Olivier Giroud was probably shocked that he'd scored them 2 goals, because I would have been absolutely shocked. Someone from the Dog and Duck could have scored them 2 goals. I mean, it was terrible goalkeeping. It was pub stuff goalkeeping there from Kasper Schmeichel. But anyway, it's not been a bad time for the international players. Obviously, it's over now. There will be another international break next month, which is a shame. But hopefully, apart from Paddy McNair, all the players will come back fresh. No more injury worries, and we can concentrate for the next few weeks on the Premier League, on the Champions League, on the League Cup, and hopefully Manchester United can boost back up that league. Come on, United!